Life and the entire universe is sound. When you make your life a masterpiece, you'll surely find inner peace. And outwardly, I'd like to see us all set free our energy to speed our way through illusory thought to immortality. At this point in time, our perceptive awareness of the universe is developing so rapidly that for many of us, our perspectives on life and our place in this world are also changing as a result. Yet we are still just barely scratching the surface. Despite massive technological and philosophical leaps forward over this last century, our capacity to comprehend many realities is still in its infancy. To put it in perspective, most humans can hear sounds between 20 and 20,000 hertz, or cycles per second, a cycle being an oscillation of a medium made of particles, like a rise and a dip in air pressure, as the sound energy transfers through this matter on the journey away from its source. Now compare this to a dog, which can generally hear 64 to 44,000 hertz, while bottlenose dolphins can hear from 150 to 150,000 hertz. Compare that to our 20, and already it seems as though we are looking at the world with blinkers on, or to put it in a sonic sense, listening to an orchestra through the speakers on our phones. This is acoustic sound. All that we can hear with our human ears falls into this zone. Just like swell lines in the ocean, acoustic sound vibrations travel in a wave pattern called sound waves. Sound waves move by vibrating objects, which vibrate other surrounding objects, essentially carrying the sound along through matter, be it solid, liquid or gas, as long as there are particles to bounce off. Ultimately, sound physically affects us. Even sound we can't audibly perceive. Infrasound, mechanical frequencies between 0.1 and 20 Hz, far below what we can hear with our human ears, are produced all the time in nature. Volcanic eruptions, avalanches, earthquakes and meteorites entering the Earth's atmosphere all produce infrasound, along with many animals who use these lower frequencies to communicate over hundreds of kilometers, such as whales in their song and elephants by stomping their feet. Even though at normal air pressure we're deaf to these low frequencies, depending on their strength, we can still feel them as they physically affect our bodies. It's simple. Sound waves move through matter, and that's exactly what we are made of. On the other end of the sound wave spectrum, above what humans can hear, is ultrasound. Frequencies from 20 kilohertz up to several gigahertz. Ultrasonic frequencies have been used since the 40s by physical and occupational therapists for treating ligaments, tendons and fascia, in other practices for physically disintegrating biological cells such as bacteria, and, as is well known, by doctors for producing images of babies in the womb. Beyond sound waves lie electromagnetic waves, like radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves, visible light rays we perceive with our eyes, ultraviolet waves, X-rays and gamma rays. At the end of the day, these are all just discoverable vibrations sitting at different places along the frequency spectrum. They're all just frequencies. Reflect for a moment on the fact that until the 19th century, we didn't even know that microwaves existed. Now we have machines in the majority of Western households literally called microwaves, which produce these frequencies to cook food. To think that we are currently aware of the entire existing frequency spectrum is laughable, really. Just think about other examples of frequencies that we use every day, like Bluetooth, tune-in radio, sonar, X-rays, UV lights. Even cameras are instruments which interpret light particles or photons and convert them to digital information which can be reproduced, edited, and creatively expressed, just like this video. An example of a receptive and expressive practice which we've made an art form of. All of a sudden, audible sound is just the tip of the iceberg. Synesthesia is a well-known example of this, where the stimulation of one sense triggers an automatic experience in another sense, the term itself literally meaning union of the senses. One form of this is chromesthesia, where people can see sound, often as colours, related to specific tones and pitches. The study of somatics is an example of this for those of us without synesthesia, visually showing the connection between sound, vibration, and physical reality, and portraying the inherent responsive nature of matter to sound. So if sound affects matter, what about thoughts? Are brainwaves just another form of vibratory wave with definite and measurable frequencies, which can influence matter, just like the rest? Researchers can already read and track brainwaves with EEG sensors, and studies allowed us to differentiate between thought vibrations produced by different kinds of brain activity. Divided into infra-low, delta, theta, alpha, beta, and gamma waves, each are measured in hertz, just as audible sound is, and are subsequently produced by the brain relative to our state of mind, be it while sleeping, meditating, at resting state, or executing cognitive tasks. A huge element of meditation and mental focusing is fine-tuning your ability to regulate your brainwaves, otherwise known as your state of consciousness. Basically, directing your awareness in the play of frequencies. If our brains and bodies are vibratory instruments capable of operating on multiple frequencies, perceiving and conceiving vibrations across the sound spectrum from which all of the universe is made, and sound is shown to affect matter, then all of a sudden, we as humans are, inevitably, creators of our own reality whether we know it or not. We are real-life artists, actively expressing and affecting our perceptions, our inspirations on the canvas of the universe, each in our own unique way, in every moment, through our thoughts, through our words, our actions, and ultimately, our existence. Using this awareness to help tune ourselves, the human instrument, we can actively engage as soundscapers. The manipulation of physical matter is easy. We do this every day with our hands, dense vibrational projections which are guided by our minds, and already use ultrasound for healing, cleaning, and changing physical matter. Dolphins, one of the most highly evolved species on Earth in their application of frequency, have been believed to cure cancer by focusing their finely tuned sonar on tumours and cancerous growths to change their physical structure and ultimately heal these mutations. Many believe that dolphins also have the ability to communicate telepathically, something we humans often experience unintentionally and disregard, But imagine if we focused on developing this capacity and could actually direct and receive information instead of just picking up on what's floating around. Sharks use electrolocation to sense the electromagnetic fields of other animals as a means of locating their prey, and many fish use passive electroreception to supplement or even replace their other senses when detecting predators. Back on land, bees collect a positive static charge while flying through the air, which they transfer to flowers each time they land on them. Because these charges take time to leak back into the ground, bees detect both the presence and the pattern of these electrical fields to know if a flower has been recently visited by another bee, and as a result, is likely to have less nectar. So it's all a case of reception and expression. Receptiveness to vibrations affecting us, and expressive action based on how we interpret them. One of my favourite forms of expression is music. The writing of lyrics and poetry, the performance of rhythm, harmony, melody, phrasing dynamics, space and more. The recording of it in a studio with other artists sharing a similar wavelength, and the sharing of it with the world. These songs are an example of me sharing my stories, insights and visions of both past, present and future. As a vibratory being, the continual expression of these songs help shape my life experience. They say you are what you eat, right? Well, you are what you think, speak, write, and sing too. Every expression reinforces an inspiration. Every action solidifies an idea and helps a ripple become a tsunami. The beauty is that exactly how we choose to express ourselves is entirely up to us.
I love surfing, carving lines in waves and flowing with the natural environment. I love freediving, finding the space, the stillness on one breath in what is essentially outer space under the surface of the ocean. These creative forms, these passions, can be anything. You can make an art form from anything.
Wake up to the sound. Become aware of the vibrational nature of the universe and our artistic role as shapers and soundscapers of it. Realize that we exist in a sonic world and that sound is what makes up the very fabric and space matter which we mould with every bat of our eyelids, every electrical signal that flies through our brains at lightning speed. Embrace your favourite forms of expressive practice, whatever that may be. It's so vastly different for all of us, and identifying what it is, and it's often more than one, is absolutely essential on your Earth mission to both your sense of fulfillment in life and the reasons you're here in the first place. But if you don't know, how do you find it? The answer is another question. What do you love? What makes you feel good to your core? What do you think about often, get lost in, sidetracked by? Do more of that. Make it your profession. Become a master of it. Anything you do every day, you will surely become amazing at. Do it with intent, and use the tool of emotionally fueled intention and passion to help it grow. Help it materialize, solidify, manifest in this physical world. Drag it from the ether, drag it from inspiration, form it into words, form it into actions, give it form. Wake up to music, sound, and all art as doorways to awakening. Awakening to a connected universal existence. Words hold wisdom. Universe is one song. Art is but the expression of both duality and unity, each example a different perspective on reality from another artist, be it you, me, Mother Nature, or the night sky. We are all soundscapers, shapers of this world, giving birth to moments with our vocal cords. Carving patterns in stone with a chisel, in wood with a knife, on waves with a board, in the sky with an aeroplane, on paper with a pen, in space with our bodies as we run, stretch, dive and rest, carving patterns in our lives with our thoughts, words and actions, every day and night, shaping, moulding, creating. What's a song but a collection of notes, in or out of harmony, set to rhythm and shared as a story? What's a human but a collection of molecules, in or out of harmony, with rhythms, themes and movements, another story to be shared?